Hi everyone, welcome back to Steamflow, the channel dedicated to all things Steam. Now the Steam Spring Sale 2025 is in full motion, and if you're looking for great games on a budget, I've got you covered. These are some of the best picks for under €3 that run great on the Steam Deck, and I'll be covering them along with the performance and battery life on the OLED model, so you know exactly what to expect. Let's jump right in. First up, we have Don't Starve, which is 75% off for just €2.04. This is a brutal survival game with a hand-drawn, eerie art style where you gather resources, build shelters, and try not to get eaten by terrifying creatures. On the Steam Deck, it runs at 90 FPS, but if you cap it at 60 FPS, you'll get an insane 9.5 hours of battery life. It's one of those games that keeps you saying, I'll just play for a few more hours, until you realize it's been a whole day. Now let's talk about the next one, Spiritfarer Farewell Edition, which is 90% off for just €2.89. This one is a wholesome yet emotional management game where you build a boat and help spirits move on to the afterlife. It looks beautiful on the OLED screen, and the relaxing gameplay loop makes it perfect for handheld play. The game runs at solid 60 FPS for about 5.5 hours of battery life, which is plenty of time to get completely absorbed in its world. Tomb Raider, the original reboot from 2013, is next, and at 85% off for just €2.24, it's an absolute steal. This is the game that rebooted the Warcraft franchise, and it still holds up incredibly well today. With a mix of exploration, combat, and cinematic storytelling, it's a fantastic action-adventure experience. On the Steam Deck, it runs mostly at 60 FPS, but it can dip to 50 in some areas, and you get around 3 hours of battery life. Next up, we have Bastion, which is 80% off at €2.95. This was Supergiant Games' first hit, and it's still one of the best indie games out there. It's an isometric action RPG with an incredible dynamic narrator, great combat, and one of the best soundtracks in gaming. It runs at 90 FPS, but if you cap it at 60 FPS, you can squeeze out 8 hours of battery life, making it one of the best choices for long play sessions. Quick pause, by the way, did you know that only 3.2% of you are actually subscribed? If you enjoy these videos, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. It really helps the channel out. It's free, and you enjoy some more Steam Deck content. If you're looking for something open world, Mad Max is a fantastic pick at 85% off for €2.99. This game is seriously underrated. It's got intense car combat, brutal melee fights, and a massive post-apocalyptic wasteland to explore. On the Steam Deck, it runs at mostly 60 FPS on medium settings, and you get around 3 hours of battery life before needing to recharge. Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition is also 85% off for €2.99. This is GTA, but set in Hong Kong with martial arts combat, parkour, and an amazing crime story. It runs at 50 to 60 FPS, and you get around 3.5 hours of battery life, which is pretty solid for an open world game. My next pick is Titanfall 2. This was in my top 15 games, and it's an absolute must play at 90% off for €2.99. It has one of the best single player FPS campaigns ever, plus an insane movement system. You get to control mechs, which is always a plus. It runs at 60 FPS locked on medium settings, and battery life is around 3 hours on the OLED model. My next pick is Mirror's Edge. It's also 85% off for $2.99, and if you love parkour, first-person platforming, and a unique visual style, this is a classic that you must play. It runs at 60 FPS locked with battery life at around 3.5 hours. Raise the Sun is 70% off for €2.92. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I used to play this a lot on my Vita. It's a fast-paced arcade game where you control a solar-powered ship, dodging obstacles at insane speeds, and the goal is to catch the sun and never let it set, because otherwise you lose. It runs at 60 FPS, and you get 8 hours of battery life, which is perfect for quick or even long addicting sessions. And finally, I have Just Cause 3 at 85% off for $2.99. If you love chaos, explosions, and ridiculous stunts, this game delivers. It runs mostly at 40 to 60 FPS, but with all the destruction happening, it can drop even below that, and battery life is around 2 hours and 45 minutes, which is a bit disappointing, but it's still enough to enjoy some fun. That's the list. These are some of the best games under €3 in the Steam Spring Sale, according to me at least, and every single one of them runs well enough on a Steam Deck to be enjoyed. Whether you're into survival, action-adventure, racing, or chaotic open-world destruction, there's something here for you. Let me know in the comments which games you're picking up or if you've already played some of these, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.